You know, right. On Thanksgiving, a Thanksgiving special edition. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, as you're listening to this, as it's out. It's Thanksgiving morning, so I'm sure you got the turkeys in the oven, or if you're fortunate enough, you're getting ready to go to a parent's house or a family member's house and don't have to worry about cooking. You can go. Or, you know, we have a great panel here. One of our guests is on a cruise for Thanksgiving, but Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese and Joe. We have a star-studded cast for our listeners today joining
Oh
us for
yeah,
Thanksgiving special.
love it. We put it together a nice, diverse panel. On top of talking about Thanksgiving food, we could talk about different Thanksgiving customs, how you spend the day with your family, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. But we are very, very excited. This is the first time we're doing a holiday episode. This idea actually came from my grandmother, right? So we'll do Thanksgiving. Hopefully, we'll be able to do Christmas, and hopefully, moving forward, we'll be able to do some of the other holidays and better times of the year. But without further ado, we welcome our panel. We welcome back Sara Blake Cheek. We welcome back Mike Marino. We welcome back David Brody to the show. Guys and gal, welcome. You know how this works. How you doing?
Hey, how is everybody?
Well, we are pumped up to have you all here. Like Joe said, we got a diverse background. We got Joe, who's living home with his mom. We got me, who's out of the house with a son and a wife. We got Mike Marino. He's from New Jersey, as family oriented as it gets. We got David Brody from Brooklyn, and we got Sarah, who's living down south with a family. So everybody does different stuff for Thanksgiving. So we'll start with you, Sarah. What's your typical Thanksgiving look like these days?
Oh, I throw down. I do it all. Like, this is a big, huge deal in our house because not only is it like my birthday week, um, I do turkey, collard greens, mashed potatoes, cream corn. We do pumpkin pie, cheesecake. Let's see, cowboy beans, everything. And I cook it all.
Wow, Joe, it sounds like you should get down there. Joe, tell everybody who recently invited you to Thanksgiving.
Well, it's kind of a spoiler, but we had former Jets quarterback, David. You're gonna like this. Matt Sims was on the show. And
Wow.
quick background,
That
Nick.
episode will be coming out in January.
Yeah, so that's gonna be out in a little bit. But Nick previously worked with the other Sims kid, Chris, back at Bleacher Report, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken, right? And obviously Phil Sims, two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback with the New York Giants. But the Sims and family invited me for Thanksgiving this year. I don't know if that's a legitimate invitation,
Joe
but
at
we'll
Phil
see
Simms'
about
house
that.
for Thanksgiving.
Right.
What do you
So
think,
we'll
David? You think Joe should take him up on that offer?
I would find out who's on the guest list first.
Well,
Like, is his brother coming or not?
yes, that's
What's the food? Are they making what you like?
yeah.
You may show up and they're like, oh, we're making ham. You're like, I like
Ugh,
turkey. Yeah, we don't do that here. And then you're screwed.
it's true. It's true. David, what is your typical Thanksgiving looking like?
It's an alternation kind of thing. So one year we either go to family or my father-in-law comes in from Florida, and then all the kids and grandkids get together, or we go to a restaurant. My
Okay.
wife is tired of cooking after many years of cooking. So we find a nice restaurant. All they have to have, my kids and my wife don't care if they have turkey or not.
Yeah.
So as long as we go someplace that has stuffing, I'm fine with that. We go to Ruth's Chris. I get stuffing with my steak. I'm happy. So it's casual. It's not formulaic. But when we go somewhere on the other years, then it's turkey and the traditional,
Mhm.
except for the collard greens. We don't do that from Brooklyn. That's not a thing up here.
Well,
It's
how about
sweet.
how about you, Mike? Mike, you're spending this Thanksgiving on a cruise, which I think is the ideal place for Thanksgiving. So talk to us about this Thanksgiving and then talk to us about a typical Thanksgiving when you're probably at home or hanging out down the Jersey Shore.
Well, sadly, typical Thanksgivings just don't happen anymore because my family's moved on to a higher place.
Hmm.
So, entertaining on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean on Thanksgiving is fantastic because 6,000 people will be coming to my dinner table. And I will remind them of traditional Thanksgiving coming from an Italian house down in the basement where my mother did cook the Thanksgiving turkey. She put the turkey in the sink. She gave it a nice bath. It scared the crap out of the little kids because it looked like a baby. And then she cooked it. And while she was cooking it, everybody in the house, up to 40, 50 people, were having lasagna and
Oh,
meatballs.
the
So
best
nobody
part.
ate the turkey anyway.
That when I was growing up as a kid, my grandma used to always make lasagna, and that was the best part. What about you, Joe? You're Italian, obviously. Talk to us about your typical Thanksgiving.
Well, this year we're going to do it just my mother and my grandmother because they don't feel like going out. I don't blame them. But usually, one of my aunts and uncle, they do it. Big home. We're very, very close with my mother's sister's husband, my uncle's side of the family. They're all very, very close from the Brooklyn days, growing up on Bath and Bay 13th and Bay Ridge. So usually his Thanksgivings are always 20, 30 people. We make multiple turkeys. Over the years, there have been other things made. In recent years, I've come to love ham more on Thanksgiving. I'm not
Oh,
really
so
a
David,
turkey
maybe he
guy.
is going out to
Oh,
the Sims
Um,
party.
there you go.
but I've also had things like duck on Thanksgiving. I love
Ugh,
duck. Oh no,
ah.
duck is awesome.
The
It
only
Not
is
for the
so
acceptable
duck.
duck
good.
is duck, duck, goose.
But yeah, so it's varied a little bit the last couple of years just because of everything that's been happening with my mom and dad. But for the most part, it was always festive gathering, and the cousins always get together and play touch football outside, whether it's 3-on-3, 4-on-4. They have a nice big street over there, so a lot of fun things to do. And we've had some warm Thanksgivings the last couple of years here in New York, I think. So enjoyable time.
All right, so let's talk about the controversy, and that is turkey. Some people, oh my gosh, turkey, gobble, gobble, I love it. Others are like, ugh, it's disgusting. I'm in the boat that it's overrated, okay? There's no point to eating it. It tastes like nothing. The only good part about the turkey is if you're like loading it in gravy and just pouring it all over.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead,
Wait
Sarah.
a
Oh
minute.
Go
no,
ahead.
Have you ever had a deep fried turkey?
No,
Yes.
but
I
I think I would
have.
like
This is
that.
why you don't like turkey.
That's the only way to have it on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh, you eat the dark meat. The white meat's always dry unless you
Yeah,
fry
you
it or
gotta eat
stick
the
a beer
dark meat.
can in its
Yes.
ass.
Yeah.
The dark
Yeah.
meat's the way to go. You grab a leg and you're solid. You walk around like you're Henry VIII and it's juicy and it's moist. You don't need gravy. It's the white meat that's dry. Everybody complains about.
It's true. So, Sarah, how do you go about deep frying your turkey?
Like Eddie from the Christmas Vacation will stand outside in a robe and deep fry the turkey.
And
Drop
how long
it
does
in
it
there.
take? Does it take like 5 hours, 6 hours?
No, it's really easy. If you prep the turkey really
Uh-huh.
good, the night before and everything, season it, inject it. I like to put like the Cajun seasoning on it. It doesn't take very long. So
Okay.
you just drop it in the
That
deep fryer.
sounds pretty good. I maybe have to go spend
You
a Thanksgiving down south.
you want
It'll
to make
change
sure
your life.
you get it nice and wet. Lots of water on it
Yes.
before you throw it in the fryer.
Oof. All right, Mike, I saw your face. You were agreeing with me. Turkey. It's a pass.
No, I never really got into the turkey. The stuffing was good. I think the best thing about Thanksgiving in an Italian family's house is when they put it on the table, how everybody yells and screams and argues with each other, where they got it, who cooked, who didn't cook, who put raisins in the stuffing, who took the raisins out. As long as we had the meatballs and the lasagna, or
Yeah.
maybe guts or raviolis, we were fine. And then before all this, of course, we had the traditional antipasto for you American people, the antipuesto, and the peanuts, the walnuts, the chestnuts. I can't believe he said duck. A
Yeah,
duck is
I mean,
one. You don't hurt the duck. You look at it. Maybe you throw a rock at it or you give it some bread. Don't eat duck. That's disgusting. Here's another trivia. What did you call that stuff that you dipped in the oil with the pepper? Anybody? Anybody?
Olive oil.
Fenoik. Fenoik.
Benoit.
Isn't
Right.
that a curse when you give somebody the fenoikia?
That's the monologue.
Oh, okay.
Joe, you want to try to defend yourself about duck and also tell us your thoughts on turkey?
Duck is very, very sweet when it's made well. It's very soft. It kind of melts in your mouth. As for turkey, I'm with David here. The dark meat is preferable to the white, and I think the problem is I think a lot of people don't base and prep the turkey. I agree with your point here. Maybe we got to go visit Sarah down south and see how they make it. But the most part, from everything I've seen through the years, it's like the white meat. I simply try to get it down. You got to put sweet potatoes on your plate, the stuffing, but you need something that's going to kind of moisten it up to make it palatable. And, for the most part, it's just, it always seems no matter what you do, no matter how much you put on your plate, no matter how much you try to mix it in to try to make it go down smoother, it just doesn't go down as smoothly for me as dark meat.
Okay, so I've always been fascinated. You watch movies and stuff, and there's always a big deal about, oh, who's gonna carve the turkey? Who's gonna carve the turkey? And it's like the man in the house wants to jump and carve the turkey when they didn't even cook it. They don't care. It's like it's so silly. And I don't want to be blamed if I butcher the turkey carving it. I want nothing to do with that. David, in your household, has ever been a topic of discussion? Who's gonna carve the turkey?
Oh no, when my wife made the turkey, I carved it because, as I just said, my wife made the turkey. So I got to do something. It's like
Yeah.
if she she gives birth to the child, I've got to change the diapers. There's got to be
Yeah.
some other. You said, well, I didn't cook the turkey. I shouldn't be slicing it. You try that on your wife. Well, you made the turkey. You slice it and see if that's the last turkey she ever makes for you.
Well, my wife
No,
would
I'm
never
good. I got
make
an electric knife.
Well, okay, electric knife, that's good, But the hand, I've been at places they're carving it, they're grabbing the turkey with their bare hand. Ugh, ugh,
No, I
Oh.
don't go back there.
Mike,
Now you
Mike,
got
what
to
do you
go
think about
electric now.
what do you think about carving the turkey, Mike?
Well, traditionally, my father always carved the turkey. Yup.
Yeah,
Just like he was the man of the house, mommy did the cooking. Daddy comes in there with the blades and he chops it up. And while he chopped it up, my mother would complain and say things like, "That's not how you do it. You don't know what you're doing. Get the hell out of the way. Let me do it. I'll show you how to do it." And then when we got older, I was the one that carved the turkey. But I'm a comedian, so I made the turkey talk, and he would say things like, "Ow, let go of my leg, let go of my leg," stupid stuff like that, just to scare the kids and make them go upstairs and get away from the kids' table. But I got to tell you, I never heard the word barbecue turkey, and I think I want to go down south and have some barbecue turkey, and I want to have collard greens. I never had a collard green. I don't even know where you get it. We need to go down south and have a southern Thanksgiving. I'll even change my accent. How to doing there? Gonna have that turkey.
Sarah, what's a collard green? And is your husband carving the turkey
Oh,
on
someone's not a
Thanksgiving?
Run DMC fan.
So collard greens, like I like to boil them, then I'll soak them, and I put like a ham hock in there, like a bone or whatever, and then I put some bacon in there as well, and then there's like a little bit of hot sauce. So I make them really good. It takes about like almost 2 days if you want to get it done really right and have it soak in that flavoring. But carving the turkey, I might be Italian. I don't know. Because I asked my husband and then I'm like, what are you doing? No, carve it this way. So
Yeah,
whoever
I'm
can do
staying
it.
out of the kitchen on Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
What is a ham hock?
Like the ham, the bone of the ham.
Oh, never even had a ham hock. I need to go
Oh,
down south and taste that stuff.
Oh, it's good. You boil it.
These ingredients you're mentioning are not just a Southern thing. They're also very big among the Black community.
Yes.
Collard
Yeah.
greens and ham hocks are very big up north. And like I made a Run DMC joke, but at Christmas in Hollis, they talk mama's cooking fatbacks and collard greens, I believe is the lyric.
Yeah.
So that's I've had ham hocks, but I certainly know what they are. And collard greens is definitely not my style. You boil them in a big pot,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Not for me. But
Dave, you seem to know a lot about
I'm a man
preparation
of the people.
food. You must have worked in the food industry in Brooklyn.
I did. I managed restaurants for about 15 years.
Yeah.
And I had neighbors who did a lot of cooking, but I have friends who my friend is from Louisiana and he eats that same stuff. So I've always asked him how you prepare. He's like, watch a video. So I've watched videos on how to prepare it, but it's not something that was like Mike. We're more a little traditional on the turkey and the stuffing and the yams and the sweet potatoes or whatever, and the gravy and the cranberry sauce. I'm a cranberry sauce out of the can type of person. We were very simple folk, not much for the lumpy.
All right.
I don't know about you, Mike, but
I love stuffing. One year I made my mother cry because I made stovetop stuffing out of a box. And my mother started crying. What did you do? This is what I taught you. Are you out of your mind? Get that box out of this house.
Take an Olive Garden. Did you take an Olive Garden after that? Oh my God.
We went to the Olive Garden once. That was the last time we ever left the house.
I think that stovetop is delicious. And you could
Ah,
definitely have it on Thanksgiving with another
no.
stuffing. I have multiple stuffings on my in my household. Joe, what's your preferred stuffing? Some
Uh,
people do like a meat base, some people do a rice base. What do you do?
yeah. No, we do rice base. Depends. We mix stuff in. We chop up pieces of sausages. And I think
Yeah.
everybody makes their stuffing slightly different, right? So I know the way that we make it here, we actually chop up apples too.
Hmm.
So I think everybody kind of mixes in something
You
different.
go on green
Uh,
apples, red
green
apples.
green apples.
Okay.
Sarah, is there anything in particular you guys putting your stuffing down there?
I don't make stuffing.
Okay.
Nobody in my family eats it. I love, like, if I want it, then I've got to do the stovetop because
Yeah.
that's just what we have because nobody else is going to eat it. But I like stuffing, like, if I do stovetop with the cranberry, just a little
Yeah.
bit,
I'm
just so
going
that I
thumbs up
have
on
it.
the stovetop. I'm with
Yeah.
Mike and Sarah there.
Okay.
Are they a sponsor of this podcast that I'm not aware of?
We'll see if the
I
check
don't think so. Not yet.
All right.
David, what's your stuffing?
I have two favorites. My first favorite is Pepperidge Farms, the blue bag, right out of the bag. Put it in the bird, and I'm done. I don't need anything in it.
Okay.
However, if you're gonna put stuff in it, I don't like celery. I don't like vegetables in my stuffing. I like sausage, but that's it. I'll put meat, sausage in there or red pepper. My wife made once a yellow saffron stuffing that had sausage and red pepper in it. That was fantastic. So and corn in it. I'm open to that. I'm open to like a Southwest stuffing, like I just described. But that would be third choice. Second choice is with sausage. First choice is plain bread stuffing, Pepperidge Farm in the bird. I don't. You don't have to get fancy with me.
Okay.
Again, simple folk cranberry sauce out of the can.
All right. So I think personally for Thanksgiving, I'm more interested in the side dishes than the turkey. I don't care about the turkey.
You're a turkey hater.
It's hit or miss the turkey, but I like the sides. So we'll start with Mike here. What's your favorite side dish for Thanksgiving?
Sweet potatoes.
Okay.
We had the option baked potato, sweet potato. Yams never made it into the Marino household. That was considered Midigan. It's very American.
Yeah.
We had sweet potatoes, baked potatoes, and meatballs. So the meatballs would be a good side dish on Thanksgiving. And what else was a good side dish? Well, I like the basket cheese, the provolone. I was never a calamari guy.
Not a fish guy. You're allergic to fish.
No calamari. Christmas Eve, I pack up and leave the house.
Sarah, what's your favorite side dish? And
I
is it
really
better? Are all
like,
the side dishes better because you cook them yourself?
yes, pretty much. No, but I love mashed potatoes and gravy. Like, I
Can't
love it
beat
when
it.
it's done right.
Yeah. How about you, David?
Well, as previously mentioned, stuffing is my favorite.
Yeah.
Then I'll go mashed potatoes second. And my mom used to make a corn dish that had breadcrumbs on top, baked breadcrumbs on top of the corn. That was my third favorite. As far as the sweet potatoes, classic, but it's down fourth for me. And then after that, keep the string beans and all the other shit. I don't need vegetables, so I'm good with the sweet potatoes, the corn, and the
No,
stuffing.
no green bean casserole?
No. I'll pick the onions, the fried onions off the top.
I love the
But
green bean casserole, not the mushrooms though. But
you could have mine. I'll eat the turkey that you don't want. You could have my green bean
Perfect.
casserole.
Let's get together next year for Thanksgiving. Do you know I'm right? Thanksgiving. We'll start selling the tickets now at Eventbrite. We'll probably host it near Sarah so she could
Yeah, in
be
the
the cook.
South.
It's warmer down there. It's nicer. I was just in Texas
What are
a
you
couple
talking about?
days
It's like
ago.
60 degrees here in New Jersey.
And it's been unreasonably warm this year,
I'm
right?
wearing shorts today. Come on.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Joe, what are you looking forward to side dish wise? And will you be wearing your famous trademark vest on Thanksgiving or flannel?
Probably not this year because again, it's been a little, unseasonably warm
You
outside.
start Thanksgiving with a monster?
I do. That I do. That comes over time when you work on Thanksgiving mornings, which I have through the years. As for sides, I'm not really a sweet potato guy, but I am a sweet potato pie guy on Thanksgiving, and
With
I'm
the
gonna
marshmallows on top?
yes, absolutely.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Now you're
that's my
talking.
thing. Yep, and
Ruth's Chris.
I'm
Those are
gonna give
fantastic.
an interesting answer here because Some people do it. I don't really think this is super popular, but it is something that's in the Thanksgiving rotation. I like mac and cheese on Thanksgiving. The only problem is a lot of stuff like stuffing, sweet potato pie, mac and cheese. It's all very heavy and it adds up very, very quickly. But if it's made right and it's done right, I think it's an excellent addition.
Well, while we're speaking of macaroni, Joe, we actually got a fan question that came in on our Instagram poll, and they wanted to know if Joe is going to make his famous vodka sauce for Thanksgiving. Because
No,
Joe, tell him you make the
no.
best vodka sauce. You
I
told
do
us.
make the best vodka sauce. The only other chain or place around here that I think makes it just as good as me is Danino's. Right now, they got a couple locations. But vodka sauce, I don't know if vodka sauce is a Thanksgiving thing. Maybe that's a day
How
before
about
or a day
vodka
after thing.
sauce like on top of turkey with some macaroni?
I don't know if that'll work. If you pay
Chop
me,
it up
I'll eat
small.
it.
I think it'll work. Well, all right. Well, we thank our fan for asking that question. For me, my
A little
favorite
turkey
sides.
parmesan.
Yeah, chicken
That's right.
parmesan would be great.
No, turkey parmesan. I'm saying.
Turkey parmesan. I would
If
try it.
vodka sauce goes on chicken parm, then
Yeah, why
then
not?
they can certainly go on turkey parm. Come on,
Why not? I know it's people
You
who
guys-
just
you guys are
have
Italian and
chicken
you're
for
not Italian. Come
Thanksgiving,
on.
so.
Might as well try it at some
Yeah.
point, right?
My
Mike,
favorite
would you
side,
turkey parm?
turkey.
Sorry.
No, that's disgusting.
All right, gun to your head though. Turkey parm or duck parm?
Ah, turkey.
Turkey palm,
Turkey
I win.
palm.
turkey
All
palm.
right, there you
There you
go.
go.
All right.
Sarah, where are you on the duck discussion?
Okay, so I've had duck one time, and my brother shot and killed this duck, and then he cooked it, and it was really good. He like made it like a steak. I loved it.
Okay. So the jury's out, but I think the Northerners here, except for Joe, are going to be out in duck.
Have you ever had it before?
No, I wouldn't even dare to have a duck.
Don't hate on
Oh,
it until
love
you
duck.
try it.
I love duck.
Oh,
I'm
David's
happy-
a big duck guy too.
I'm happy
I
David's
love
in
duck.
my camp here.
Although I prefer duck Asian prepared, like with a hoisin sauce, or
Okay, yeah.
I like duck sauce. I don't think there's anything to do with duck there, but I'm a fan
it
of
has
duck
as much
sauce.
to do with duck as pumpkin spice has to do with pumpkins.
I got ducks in my backyard. I'm never gonna eat one. It ain't happening.
Well, you're not gonna shoot them and eat them like boom, like Sarah's family did.
I'll shoot them, but I ain't gonna eat them.
Get rid of them. So yeah, for me, I think my favorite side dishes I like quiche, I like stuffing, and I like mashed potato pie. You bake it with breadcrumb on top, mozzarella.
Oh, yeah.
That's some good stuff right
Just
there.
say quiche, quiche.
Quiche.
Yeah,
I think I have to get off the show.
Listen,
I think I
it
need to
depends.
leave.
It depends how you have it. My family makes it with like Bisquick, like the pancake stuff, and then you mix it in with mozzarella and zucchini. It's very tasty. Bake
Oh
in the
yeah,
oven.
that's very white of you.
I don't know, Mike. I mean,
you having Thanksgiving brunch or Thanksgiving dinner? What are you doing, Nick?
Thanksgiving about 2 o'clock. We eat. What time do you guys eat your Thanksgiving?
2 o'clock.
Yep.
No, 5, 6 o'clock.
Oh,
That's too late.
I'm not eating
It's
9
gotta be-
courses of food like Mike's family is. I'm just eating turkey and stuffing. He's got
Well, you
lasagna
eat
he's got to
at
get
2
in.
o'clock. Then you eat again at 6. You have sandwiches.
Yes.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Dessert too.
You know what? We probably eat at 4 to beat the rush because that's when you get
Yeah.
reservations in restaurants. So maybe 4, but not 2. Not 2.
And let me throw in the question: how about potluck Thanksgiving, when every relatives brings over something, and somebody's in charge of the turkey, somebody's in charge.
That's the
of
way to
mutton,
go.
That's the way
Yes.
to go.
and then you make fun of each other.
Yes.
I
I
thought
make
I
this
was to
better
bring
than
the
you.
stuffing. You brought it. Now we got 2 stuffings.
Well, I actually had a potluck at work this past Wednesday, and you had to sign up with what you're bringing, and not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 people signed up there to bring a pumpkin pie, and they just don't know how to read. It says you sign up, you pick. Somebody put they're bringing pumpkin pie as a side dish. Somebody brought it as a dessert. But potlucks, I mean, I think that's the way to go in this day and age.
Because pumpkin pie, you just buy it at the store and you bring it. It's effortless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You got to be careful though with the potluck. I'm not going to say who it is, but because I have family who might watch this. But we had a relative who couldn't cook for crap, and so you never wanted to eat it at their house, and you certainly don't want. So what are you going to tell them? To bring Jello? Like they were just terrible. So whatever they brought, if they were the only one bringing it, nobody had that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you be in charge of this. You're like terrible, the worst cook. So as long as your family can all cook, I'm okay with it. But if you've got one menace in the family, and believe me, we had a menace in the family, you got to be careful with the potluck thing. You got to assign them what you don't like. Like I would say, you bring the string bean casserole because I'm not eating that, so I don't care.
Bring ice. Tell them to bring ice.
Bring ice. Yeah, can't
Yeah,
go wrong
that's
with
good.
that.
Bring ice.
How about
Points for
this
Sarah.
one? You ever have a potluck and somebody brings stuff, they don't eat it all and they take it home?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so not right. You're supposed to leave it there.
Oh, I've been to parties where they bring dessert and they take the, oh, no one ate the cookies? No, I'll take them. They take them back.
Yeah.
They take the
Right.
wine back if they don't drink it. Oh, you're not drinking the wine? I'll take it.
You didn't open it? Bring it home.
Right.
Potlucks get wild for sure, and you never know what's got. But talking about the pie, the pumpkin pie, everybody take a moment here to think. I want you to give me your top 3 pies.
Boy.
So you got to think about it. We'll go to Joe first because Joe kind of knew this was coming. So Joe, give us your top 3 pies.
Well, I'm semi-traditional, so I have to put an apple pie. Boring, but staple. Need a little vanilla ice cream on top. For the exotic choice, I like a good key lime pie. I think it's very, very tasty. It's very light. It goes down smooth. And I for the third choice, I don't know because like I like blueberry pie too, which again, it's very, very boring.
What do you like?
My
Rhubarb
mom,
pie?
yeah, I do too. But my mom used to make she used to make pies when I was younger. So she used to make like blueberry pies. We used to get apple pies out in the store, or if we went like, apple picking or something, you would get it somewhere and bring it back home.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the 2 pies that I have the most are definitely apple pie and key lime pie.
Now you got your regular apple pie or apple crumb?
I could have both. Apple
You,
crumb's
you
good. Yeah.
I think the key thing to every pie is whipped cream on top. Got to drown it in whipped cream. What do you think, Jay?
No, I think it depends.
You're playing. How about Sarah? I think is a whipped cream person.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
my mom's a Cool Whip person, so
Yeah,
she'll
Cool
put
Whip, whipped
Cool Whip.
cream,
Cool Whip.
all the
But they're
same.
two distinct different things. Similar tasting, but still 2 different things.
The heavy cream. So for me, I think my favorite pie doesn't count in this discussion, but just to put it out there is pizza pie. Love pizza. That's a favorite pie. But as far as the Thanksgiving stuff is concerned, love banana cream pie. Love chocolate cream pie with like the Oreo crust. And then I do like pumpkin pie, so no disrespect to it, but I'm gonna say coconut custard is my third in the top 3 because you don't see it as much. You can still have pumpkin pie throughout the year, but you really don't see too much coconut custard pie coming out except around this time. We'll go to Sarah next in the top 3 pies.
All right. You know what the best pie is ever? It's the Hershey cream pie.
Oh, yeah.
They're so good. But I like that, pumpkin pie and key lime pie.
Oh, so another key lime. Okay. How about you, Mike?
She's on.
Well, I'll say traditionally, yes. The apple pie with vanilla ice cream, a
Oh,
little whipped
yes.
cream, a little syrup is nice. That's great. I like the pumpkin pie, but now I'm going to roll it all out. And my mother made it from scratch, and she called it the icebox cake. Icebox cake was graham crackers on the bottom, chocolate jello, then graham cracker, or chocolate pudding, then
Yeah.
graham cracker, about 6 layers of that. She cooked it, put it in the freezer, then you ate that, and you were living large. I give anything to have that right this second. Oh, and whipped cream on it.
Oh, yeah. Have to. All right. How about you, David?
Well, I may have to hit Mike up for that pie because that just made my list. Before he said that though, I'm gonna go with pecan number 1. Nobody mentioned pecan.
Very
I'm gonna
good.
go
Very good.
blueberry number 2, and I'm gonna go cherry number 3. But I will tell you, vanilla ice cream tops whipped cream. If I had only one, I go with ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream is great.
Apple pie, I would be my 4th, but only if it's heated up and there's ice cream on top.
Gotta have the apple pie hot with ice
Yes.
cream on top.
With ice cream on top.
And it has
absolutely.
to be vanilla ice cream. People
Oh
put
yeah, we're gonna
chocolate-
put
oh,
like rum raisin on it.
I think people put chocolate ice cream.
Nah.
You get to. It's
No,
too
you're
much.
out.
No.
You're out. You gotta leave the country at that
But I
point.
do
You're
feel
out.
when I eat Thanksgiving, I feel obliged that I have to have a piece of every single pie. So if there's 7 pies, I'm gonna have 7 pieces of pie. I don't want to
Oh,
be
it's
rude.
it's the Feast of 7 Pies. I know all about that. Growing up in Brooklyn, of course.
Yeah, my father-in-law, he's great. He makes about 8 different pies. So he's like, you didn't try this one yet? So I got to eat them all. So I got to really pace myself. So that's why I cut down the turkey and stuff, and I wait for the dessert because dessert on Thanksgiving can be pretty good. But Mike, I know you grew up in the Italian household, but I mean, you can't have a holiday without pastries, right? It doesn't matter what the holiday is.
It's abundant, and the pastries are everywhere. I was never really a cannoli guy or the shoyadels.
Oh, you don't like cannolis? We've eaten them at your house together, me, you,
I
and
know because I like sucking out the cream, but I don't
cream
like
is
the
the
crust.
best.
And all those strange Italian cookies.
I'm not a
Uh,
fan of those Italian bakery cookies, especially with the
nah,
jelly in them. Oh,
no. But what about my father used to make chestnuts, and he put like a little crack in it, and then
yeah,
he
you gotta
put it
crack
in the
them.
oven. I didn't like them, but and then they look scary for kids because there were some areas where there was like hair on the chestnut. Did you see it? It's
Yeah,
disgusting.
chestnuts
Yeah.
roasted on open fire. I mean, Joe, you probably know all about that. We have them in our family for the holidays. I'm right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
I
we do
used to
too.
love just like the chestnuts and the walnuts and using the cracker as a kid. Crack it. I don't eat that stuff though.
That's a walnut.
Yeah, the walnuts, good stuff. All right, let's talk about the Thanksgiving Day parade. So, Sarah, you're in the South, so I mean, you watch it on TV. So I'm just curious, your thoughts. Do you and your kids, do you get into that? You love it? Do you like, oh my gosh, here comes Santa. Look at these floats. What do you think about the parade?
No, we're watching football or we're
Yeah,
watching something
Yeah.
else. Like, we're not big parade people.
yeah,
I mean, it's there, but it's you gotta watch the pregame show. It's all day long, you gotta see what's going
yeah.
on.
Now I'm wondering, David, you were a prominent figure in New York for quite some time. I'm assuming at some point you got a connection and you went to a Thanksgiving Day parade. Am I wrong?
Well, you're right and you're wrong. You're wrong. I never used my clout or my connections, but I did go with my family.
Okay.
We went
Okay.
in a snowstorm. It
Oof.
was a nightmare. And once you've gone to one parade, you've gone to all of them. I don't watch them on television. I would never go again. You're like, oh, there's a marching band.
Yeah.
Oh, look, a balloon on strings. I'd rather sleep until it's over or watch football.
Yeah, I
So
like
to
to
me,
sleep. Back when I was a teenager, I'd like to sleep right through the parade, get up and eat. That's it.
yeah, am I going to watch? Go
Nothing
ahead.
was worse to me than having to be woken up on Thanksgiving morning by the disgusting smell of turkey. I mean, that's the worst way to get
Well,
it.
you got some turkey issues, my friend.
Ah, the smell. Ugh.
He hates it.
The smell is just, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's not that I won't eat it. It's just that I don't enjoy it. It's kind of like, all right, I'll eat it because I have to eat it. Joe, have you been to the Thanksgiving Day parade?
I have not. I have been to the Macy's 4th of July fireworks show for my birthday, but I've never been to the Thanksgiving Day parade. That's a track to get up for. Um, I
I've
think
actually stood on the parade route because my bus, when I used to work in Manhattan, was right in front of Macy's. So the day before the
right.
parade, I'd be standing there and I'd be like, get me the hell out of New York City right now because this is about to be a disaster. Rough. Mike, I know you definitely probably haven't gone, but I want to ask you because you have been to the parade, Mike. Really?
I've been in the parade.
What? Really? Oh, when you were
Yeah, look at this.
back in your marching band days in high school?
Damn straight. Scotch Plains Fanwood High School marching band went across that carpet on Thanksgiving Day parade, and I was hitting the drums like a cool little 17-year-old. And then when we pulled out, we stepped in horse manure because the horses were crapping all over the place, and you couldn't get away from it. And then you came home with that on your band shoes, and you said, "Hey, Ma, happy Thanksgiving."
That's awesome.
I
That's actually
love
pretty
the
cool.
parades.
Being in the parade is different than watching it as a spectator and being cold.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, good old days, man. And now I would watch it on television, but I think one of the best parades too is Columbus Day.
Yeah, it's a great parade. I think as far as the top 2 days that are events that I do not want to be in Manhattan for, number two, I don't want to be anywhere near the Thanksgiving Day parade.
We know what number one is.
Number one, Happy New Year. Keep me out of Times Square. I mean, these people are just nuts while we're
Nuts.
this and are highly social, but could you imagine going to Manhattan when it's 20 degrees, standing outside for 12 hours, peeing your pants, literally, and then
That's why
trying
you
to
bring
disperse at 12:30 in the morning with everybody 12 transportation? Ay, ay, ay.
People bring water and then they pee in the empty bottles. I've heard stories about that before. It is true.
See, if the only time I would go to the New Year's ball drop would be if I had some clout, like David mentioned, then I could go watch for a building. But I don't have any, just in general, keep me out of Times Square. I know Mike had a billboard in Times Square recently, so that was worth going there. But yeah, yikes.
I did Times Square twice in my life. Once because it was 1999 and everybody got together because they thought the world was going to explode. Had something to do with the
Yeah,
computers.
Y2K.
So, yeah, Y2K. So all my friends went to this restaurant uptown, which is owned by my friend Nicky Meatballs. So we went there, and then we didn't die. The
You made
world
it.
didn't explode.
No,
And the
world did
last time
not.
I New Year's Eve, I was performing in the city, and I actually got out of the city at 11:45. I ran out of that
Smart.
city. I did my show, and I went home.
Yeah. I actually have to go to a wedding this year on New Year's Eve in Manhattan.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah,
Oh, I mean, I have a wedding on the 29th, which is December
In
weddings
Manhattan?
are no, down in Jersey, closer to Philadelphia. But yeah, I mean, December weddings are what they are. It's not a great time,
No
especially.
problem with it,
you
but
have
it's
I
a
a
good
think
New Year's Eve
location.
wedding. You should call in sick. Say I can't make it. I wish I could be there. I don't feel good. I ate really bad turkey at Thanksgiving, and I still am sick. In fact, I think somebody slipped me some duck and collard greens. I'm sick.
don't hate until you've tried them. Do
Mike, I
not hate
want to know
until you've tried them.
what are you going to be eating for Thanksgiving on the cruise ship? Will they have turkey?
I'm sure they're gonna have turkey, but there's so much stuff to
Maybe
eat
some
on the cruise.
lobster you won't have, but they'll have that. The
You
steak,
know,
you'll maybe have some steak and some burgers.
this particular ship has a great restaurant. Well, it's got a lot of great restaurants, so I'm gonna go to the Italian one. There's also Sorrento's, so
Okay.
I'll have a nice spaghetti and meatball
Game
Thanksgiving.
reads Italian. Very nice. All right, well, let's talk about the last topic we have here, as Sarah brought it up before, football. Uh, these football games, they had the third game. Every game kind of stinks on Thanksgiving. What do you think about the games, Sarah, in general?
So I'm just happy to be watching football. I wish that we were watching more like college football is my thing. So
Hmm.
NFL, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah,
who do we got? Cowboys? Like, come on.
No, you're a
every year.
Tennessee gal.
Yes.
Matt Sims fan.
I'm sorry about the Vols loss over the weekend against Georgia. That was rough to
Hey
watch.
now.
But go Rocky Top and all that.
It's brutal. I'm in depression.
Joe, what do you think about the football games?
Well, the Lions were never good, and now it's good that they're actually kind of good now. So it makes that first game very, very watchable, which is very, very important. Could I don't know if this is universal here. Even if you don't like football, we can all root against the Cowboys at
Yes.
4:30. That's something that's great. And I think the night game it stinks because you're either taking a nap or you're out of the day by the time 6:30, 7 o'clock rolls around. We don't really do like if we want go out to see family, everybody's kind of leaving like before 8 o'clock. So that final game, I guess it's just like if you do it at your own house. David, you're wearing Curtis Martin. The
Yeah,
Jets are
talk. Let's
first
talk
pick.
about let's talk about the
Let's
best
not
the
let's not
best
talk
Thursday
about
night football Thanksgiving game of all time. Mark Sanchez, the
ah.
butt fumble. David, before we wrap up here, what did you think of that Mark Sanchez butt fumble on Thanksgiving?
It's so on brand for the Jets. Like it didn't surprise me,
Yeah,
right? It's like if you're a Cubs fan, you're like, oh, it's the Cubs, right? So the fact that he fumbled the ball after running into another guy's ass, you're like, oh, if it was the 49ers or like a real organization, you go, how did that happen? Oh my God, it's terrible. It's the Jets. It's like the Dan
love it.
Marino spike game. You roll with it. I mean, it was
Yeah,
hilarious,
Same old Jets.
but I didn't
love it.
lose any sleep over it because it was the
Right.
Jets.
That was so funny. All right, so this is going to do it for this amazing episode. We want to thank all of our guests. And we're going to go around the room one last time. Everybody's going to give their last words, their last thoughts about Thanksgiving. We'll start with Mr. David Brody.
Favorite holiday because it's an excuse to be with your family. The food is always abundant.
Yeah.
And you're always off the next day of work.
Well, that's
So
that's Joe's
mostly,
favorite part about Thanksgiving. Black
Yeah,
Friday.
I think over the years, the Black Friday thing, like it doesn't really matter if you take advantage of it. But Thanksgiving really starts the evening of the Wednesday night, right? And if you're young, you go out and it's a good time. If you're older, it gives you a nice relaxing night. You prepare everything for Thursday, and then you don't really have to worry about getting back into the swing of things, until Sunday night next week comes around or Monday morning. So I know a lot of people through the years who take an extra vacation or a sick day on that Monday, and they give themselves almost a full week off. So Thanksgiving now is really become, I don't think just a single day thing; it's a multi-day thing. When I was younger, I didn't love it, but as I gotten older, I kind of get to appreciate it in a different way.
All right, Mike, your last words on Thanksgiving?
I think Thanksgiving is the greatest holiday. It really is, because it's the beginning of the holiday season, let's say, and you get to see all your family members in one night and say to yourself, thank God I don't have to see them for another year.
Sarah?
No, until Christmas Eve.
I share that. I'm like, I'm so thankful to spend time with my family, friends, and get to be in one house and everybody's arguing, yelling, and they're having fun together. But then it's like, okay, go home.
There you go. My last words are Thanksgiving, severely overrated, worst holiday of the year.
Amazing.
Grinch.
He is the Grinch.
Food's not the best.
You're the one wearing green, and he's the Grinch. Imagine.
I mean, I don't see what the redeeming qualities are of Thanksgiving.
You're gonna have to change the name of this podcast, by the way. I'm wrong. Should be the podcast.
No, I'm right. Okay.
Oh boy.
Right. Well, I want to thank all of our guests here today. Obviously, Joey
Very
Bag of
thankful.
Donuts here, my co-host Joe Calabrese, Mike Marino, who's sailing the seven seas, David Brody, who's losing his mind over the Jets, and Sara Blake Cheek, who is in the kitchen as we speak, getting things ready for her family this morning. Everybody, this has been great. Thank you so much. And this has been a very special edition of I'm Right on Thanksgiving.